Hello, hello. This is Jen. I hope everybody's good. I'm here with an energy update. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not new. Thank you for being here. You may hear the birds outside or all kinds of noises. My windows are all open. It's summertime here in Montreal. It's above 30 degrees here, Celsius for those in the States. And it's a pretty warm day, so all windows are open. Thank you for being here, my friends. I haven't been here in a little while because of life, this beautiful thing that we're all in, life. And I've had my share of work to do. And I'm here today because we're having a full moon on May 23rd, so in a day from now. And it's a pretty, how could I say, important? Potent full moon. Attachez vos trucs. For those who speak French, you'll understand. That's a saying that we have in French saying, hold on to your hat because it's a wild ride. And it is indeed. So if you have been feeling emotional or purging, that's because of the full moon. I've been purging a lot, and stuff that really surprised me, stuff that I thought I was done with, stuff that I looked at many times over many, many, many layers, but hey, it was still there and I needed to work on it. What I know for sure is that we're all going through a really, really big heart expansion. So if you're feeling like heart palpitation or what feels like anxiety, it might be why. Of course, never discard the medical reasons. Do go see a doctor if you think that something is wrong. But like in my case, I've been feeling very, very anxious, and that's usually what happens when my heart chakra is being expanded, and I know it is. And I know it is for a lot of people because we're seeing the rise of the balanced feminine. And what I'm saying by that is we've been seeing a lot of like feminine rising, but not necessarily in a balanced way. Meaning being up in the clouds, being up in a bypassing kind of way of living. And by bypassing, I mean pretending that everything is okay, pretending that you don't have emotions. Just let them go. Let them go. It's going to make you more free and all that kind of stuff. It's not really how it works, right? I mean, when we're purging, when we're releasing, it hurts. It's ugly. It's painful. It's not always as easy as, yes, I'm releasing this. Not in my case anyway, and not in most people's case that I know. In most people that I know. Sorry, that didn't make sense. It's real work. It requires to dig. It requires to be really, really transparent and honest with ourselves and to look at ourselves and say, hey, yeah, it's true. I still feel that in my energy and I need to release it. And it's painful, to say the least. Anyhow, some purge are easier than others, but this one, with this full moon, is a different ball game. We're also going through renewal of relationships, friendships, meaning on the different grounds. You may see changes in all your relationships, romantic ones, friendships, professional ones, so on, so on. Things are going to be said. Things are going to come out of the bag or the closet or the hat, whatever the expression is. Things are going to be exposed, basically. Truths will come out. So if you've been in unfair situations where people didn't take your truth as reality, but more as a construct of your mind, watch out. Something different is going to come out of this. You're going to be seen. You will be heard. You won't, maybe you won't hear like, hey, you were right on this one, but you will hear something along the way, along the lines of, hey, you were right, without these specific words, because most people have a hard time admitting when they're wrong. But read between the lines and take the positive out of this. Those changes are right in line with building the new earth, with spiritual ascension. Everybody is going through it. Everybody is. So it is normal that our relationships do change over time. You may also find yourself breaking relationships, letting go of some relationships, or how can I say this? Like, I want to say you may find yourself with reconsidering relationship, like, do I really need this friend in my life? Is this person really my friend, or is she or he only there to take stuff away from me? And take a look at the past 2-3 years, what you've been through with people, and you're going to see how some people were there under false pretenses, and the truth will be revealed. The truth will come out. Focus on what matters by keeping it simple. Focus on the basic and the positive stuff. Like, don't allow yourself to go down that negative spiral. And I'm guilty of this. I just left a message to one of my best friends out there, and I was going down a negative spiral saying, this shit is taking a toll on me right now. It's okay to say it and to express your emotions and your feelings. What matters is that you don't let yourself go down that spiral. Like, just don't. Express it and then move on. Try to build something new. Try to work on something else. And going back to the heart expansion, I want to say, like, get ready to get your heart blown out. Like, really blown out to a level that we've never experienced before, because we've never been there in time, but because we also never been there as a collective. So this heart expansion will bring more capacity for love, for understanding, for compassion for our brothers and sisters, and it's really needed at this time. A lot of people are going through hardships, hard stuff, not only on a physical level, where economy is not great in most countries, where inflation is through the roof in most countries, and where a lot of people are having a really hard time making it financially. Open your heart more to welcome these energies that will support you into transmuting more and better, and into being able to receive more. So this time around, it's about receiving more than giving. And yes, I'm tempted to say stop giving. I'm not going to say it like officially, but stop giving. What I mean by that is, don't give so much. Allow yourself to receive. Then you're going to be able to give more. Because a lot of people have been giving, and are feeling the injustice of not receiving as much as they're giving. Perhaps you're giving to the wrong people or the wrong situations, and it's time to straighten that up, right? This full moon is going to support us and help us doing that. It's also a very good time to break the inertia in our lives. This full moon is going to bring a wind of change. It started last night here in Montreal, where these energies started like pushing the old out, breaking the inertia, and where the universe is like saying, look, this has been lingering in your life. Maybe you've tried to work on it. Maybe you've just let it linger. But sorry, but I'm going to take it away from you because it's not right. Be ready to accept that. Be prepared to accept that, to accept any kind of break in any department of your life. Mostly towards relationship. I'm telling you, the relationships are a really big aspect for the next few weeks up to 2 or 3 months from now. You may find yourself looking at every people in your life and thinking, this is how I want our relationship to be, and starting to act differently to make it happen. You may also find yourself thinking about relationship and saying to yourself, well, I think it's time to let go of this person, even though this is not what I want. I love this person very much with all my heart, but I cannot keep going on. We sometimes find ourselves in compassion, and too much compassion to the point where we become enablers. I'm guilty of that. And then I reach that point where I'm like, okay, I'm done with this, bye. And it always comes as a surprise for these other people, because they don't realize in how much compassion I've been in before, and how resilient and flexible I've been in. But when we get to the point where it's costing me energetically, or it's costing me in a way that, I can't like balance myself up after that, it's time for me to take a different direction. And this is very painful to go through on both sides. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, to be like, okay, bye for now. And then for the other person, to which it comes as a surprise, I mean, imagine the shock. They don't understand. They don't realize what has been happening. But think about this. If you feel that that's what you need to do it. It's going to trigger something in that person. It's going to trigger an opening of some sort for them to do the work that they haven't been doing, for them to level up, for them to change, for them to improve and let go of these old ways. And I'm saying this and I'm very emotional, thinking about like very important relationship that I had to let go. And it's still hurting me to that point. I'm thinking of one particular relationship that I let go almost a year ago, and it's very painful to think about. But I know that this person hasn't changed one bit, and that it wouldn't work if we tried to make it work at this point. And why I had to let him go, and it was a member of my family, I had to let him go because he was taking from me, taking my compassion, taking my resilience, taking. And I felt depleted each time. And after talking to him many times, things were still the same. They weren't changing. So at one point, I had to walk away. But I miss him a lot. And I miss what we were before. And I miss the good times. But of course, I don't miss the bad times. But I miss the good times. I definitely do. And I know he does too. And I know that he just doesn't know like where to stand and what to do. But I knew deep down that as long as I kept trying to be in compassion, or as long as I stayed there, things wouldn't change. They wouldn't. This guy needed a trigger, and a big one. So if you find yourself in that kind of situation, I hope you'll find the courage to do what needs to be done for your own highest good. And just ponder that for a moment. Your own highest good. Other people are not responsible for the quality of your life. You are. And if other people are creating interference, call it quits and do something else. Or try something else. So yeah, earlier I mentioned focus on what matters by keeping it simple. Focus on the basics and the positive stuff, meaning keep your shit in order and in line. Make sure that you have I want to say, down to the point self-hygiene on all levels: spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, and all of the rest of the planes. Make sure you do. That's going to play a major difference in your life. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're having to say no to people, embrace saying no. That way, you're making space for what you really want. And you're telling the universe, I say no to this and I say yes to that. So bring me more of that. Don't be afraid of saying no. I know it's hard sometimes. Sometimes we feel like saying yes, but we know that we need to say no. Sometimes we know that we're going to hurt the other person by saying no. Sometimes we know that no is just the answer. And sometimes we don't know why. We just feel it. Follow that. Follow that. That's your soul speaking to you, your higher self telling you what you need to do, telling you how you need to go about things, and telling you how to manage what's coming. And if you don't say no, you're going to have to say it later or at one time or another. It's not a game. I mean, it is, but it's not. Like life is a game, right? But it's not. Some things are pretty serious, but saying no is very, very difficult for a lot of people. It is. And I understand why. And I cannot explain all the reasons why it's hard. It's just hard. It's just hard. Sometimes we feel like we need to go against ourselves. But it's not. That's just the ego talking. Our higher self, that came out completely wrong, sorry. Our higher self knows exactly what we need to do. Follow that and make sure that you leave this proper amount of space to hear that talk, to hear those words coming through either clairaudience, in a clairaudient way, I don't know how to say it, in a clairvoyant way, or through your dreams, through your thoughts. It's always there. So make an extra effort during this full moon to leave your ego aside and connect to your higher self. And let things happen the way they should happen. Because everything is the way it's supposed to be. The universe has your back. I think that's it for now. I just have a question before I end this video. I mean, the other day I was thinking about maybe starting a Facebook group or something like that so we can exchange with one another. Is that something that could be like interesting to you? Leave a comment on that if you made it this far in the video. Let me know what you think and we'll start it. If it's something like that has like interest, we'll start it. So let me know. And you can follow me on social media at IndigoGirl555 on Instagram, IndigoGirl on Facebook. You can reach out if you want a reading or healing, IndigoGirl555 at gmail.com. And until the next time, be well.